hopefully that's not in the way of information I need. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for a bit of positivity today. We've had some patch notes released as of earlier today, and I'm pretty keen to have a look at them. But I'd just like to make a quick reflection in regards to my video yesterday, which was called The State of Darwin. Now, obviously, I was very angry, but what I said there, I stand by it. The short of it is, we need Scav to help us out. Our populations are dropping. It isn't just because of other games. Inactivity is becoming a major problem in this game. We need to do something about it. So if we want to do something about it, there's only so much the players can do. It is up to Scav to do a small amount of advertising to fill up a couple of the dead servers, particularly like Australia, Singapore, South America. There's nobody playing, and new players come on board there. They have a look around. They can't see any matches, so they just leave. This is a catch-22 cycle right there. It's never going to go away, and it's just going to compound on itself. So, let's hope they listen to it, and forgive all the swearing and carrying on I had. I think I reached a point of snapping and frustration just the other day, where we just feel like we're not being listened to by them, and they're not communicating a lot of their strategies towards us. And it is their business, but we're their community, and this is our home, this place. So let's hope they do. But enough said on that. If you want to go and watch it, it's about 3 hours long. The first hour, I repeat myself 100 times, but that's the entire rant, and it might be worth going to check. So I'm just going to open up a couple of settings here. Let's check the state of Darwin today in terms of show directors and where they're sitting at for the month. So I don't look at average. Average is a garbage stat. Let's go and take a look at the totals for this month. My God, look at Zeke. Good old Zeke's going for leather. He's done 300 games this month. He's really pushing hard. So good. Studio's starting to catch up, of course, but we all expect that. Here's good old Ginger. Pumped out 227 games. I mean, 781 prestige. Me down there at 4th. You know, and the field's just coming up with a lot of new directors here I haven't seen before. So that's excellent. There's Steve. Good old Happy's back into it as well. Dorky, of course. So many good names on this field here. Yeah, really good. There's Biscoy even doing a couple of show directors. Oh no, hold on. Yeah, I think that is. I might be wrong there. Sorry if it's not you. But that's the way it goes. And now it's time to just get into a bit of a round, hopefully. We'll see what we got. And hopefully the mic works. Oh, I've got the Twitch icon on my screen where the that information shows, so we'll find out soon enough. But if you're just joining us now, welcome aboard. And let's see what we got, eh? Let's go check it out. Just about to open the chat room. Fresho's back in. Welcome back, mate. I've already said me piece in the first 2 minutes about my rant the other day. But Fresho popped me donation cherry the other day. Thank you so much, mate. So about to buy a new car with that. So good. Alright. It's all open now. I'd love to use the spectator experience. Unfortunately, it does not work on this. So let's see if we can get around. Let's go to West. We were just on East and nobody voted for me, so fuck 'em. Patch notes 1.19. This is where we're sitting today. So in case anybody doesn't have access or hasn't read it yet, we'll just pull out some of the parts that I found interesting, because that was really what I feel matters the most. The cosmetics, whatever, don't care about that. But let's take a look at what the players are most interested in with this. Testing. Alright, that's working pretty well. So, it starts off, hello inmates, as promised. Blah, 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 blah. Axe rework. Now this is one we've all been waiting for, to see what they've got up their sleeve for axes. And a lot of us did not get to be in the playtest at all. So this might be the first experience you've had with the axe rework. Let's have a look.
The Darwin project is not a conspiracy to steal forests.
We said we'd mercilessly tackle the axe, and just as promised, we're about to put a lot more focus in improving the axes and melee combat for the experience of this patch update. After months of discussions, development and play testing, which means they are listening to us when it comes to that side of things, and I appreciate that, Scav. We think these changes and improvements we did this time address many concerns about the mechanics of axes. So they've reworked the timing. To make axes feel more dynamic and responsive, we have reduced the duration of its wind-up animation, resulting in a melee combat that is more about reacting to your opponent's actions rather than having to anticipate them. Moreover, the timing required to land a hit, parry an attack, or to deflect an arrow should now feel more intuitive and consistent. That is good news, and I'm sure you'll all agree. Oh, what's new, mate? This is what we're talking about today, Fresh. So that gives me a lot of hope for the players of the game who've complained about the way they do need to anticipate what's going on when it comes to axe swings and all the rest. You should be able to actually have a bit more of a closer match now and get really intimate with the axe fights, and let's hope that's what it means. Consistent sounds great, because as we all know, the axes are a little bit inconsistent in this game. Sometimes they just pass through players. The hitboxes seemed a little bit off, but you know, that's good news. So the second part of axes here, directional swings. Instead of swinging horizontally all the time, your character will now attack with the axe towards the direction of your reticle. Sorry. This adds a new layer of skill and enables players to fight more efficiently along steep slopes or against jumping opponents. Now that is great news, isn't it? You know, those slope fights that everybody hates having, they just seem like they're kind of a waste of time. Well, this is it. Hopefully that addresses that a little bit, but we're only going to know once we play test a little bit more. So we'll see what comes into it. The animation they have on their site, in the patch notes, looks quite interesting. You see all these different ways the axe can swing. I'm really excited for that, for the players, of course. It sounds really good, and let's hope it comes out good in practice. Sorry, give me a sec. Got a dry throat, as always. Reworked visual cues. An issue we identified with melee combat was the lack of visual cues that players can refer to when engaging in combat, making the experience seem more inconsistent than how it's supposed to be. To address this, we first tweaked the camera's position so inmates can see what they hit more easily and thus estimate their distance from their target better. Next, we made slight adjustments to the axe animations to better suit the changes in timing and the implementation of directional swings, which we just discussed. That sounds great. Lastly, we have also reworked visual effects for the axe trails so that players can better see the trajectory of axe swings, improving feedback and visibility for both players engaged in combat. G'day, man. I'm just reading some patch notes out. I won't be long. These new visual effects will also aid players in identifying which melee perk and to which level their opponent's axe is crafted to. That's great. So that'll terrify if you see someone, it's like, oh, he's got full max axe on there. You just know it. That's going to add a psychological layer to the fight, so it's just going to be awesome. Don't know, Fresh A? Advertising? There's nothing about that, mate. There's absolutely nothing about advertising yet. But as we expected with these patch notes, they were going to be about the technicalities of the game, I suppose. Advertising, as I ranted on about yesterday or the day before, is definitely one that they need to post about for us to read. We really need to know something as a community. But to continue, where are we up to? This would be useful information to have regarding what level of axe they got, particularly if your opponent is crafted axe sharpener. You can read more about the details on this in the visual subsection below in general improvements. And looking at the animation, I don't know if I like how it looks, but it obviously is going to give us a lot more information to gauge distance and see what's going on. So you can definitely see an axe sharpener on that one. That's interesting. Now, my favourite part of this patch of all, of course, is the show director part. So this one nearly gave me a woody last night when I read it. It's just simply fucking outstanding. And watching a video of it via Scooby the Dude, mate. If you guys have not seen him before, go find him on Twitch. He's fantastic. and he showed me a preview of that. New show director power, lava floor. Oh yeah. So, the lava floor is a new show director power that fills a tile with scorching molten rock, forcing inmates to flee or move to high ground immediately. Similar to the nuke, show directors can drop the lava floor on any zone of their choice, or we can also let the spectators decide. Once activated, it fills the entire zone, the floor of an entire zone with rising lava. It creates a deadly wall around the edges of the zone. So they're trapped in it, they've got to deal with it, there's no way out. So this is going to make things like gliders so crucial, particularly when you get in Karma's show and just be like, fuck, it's Karma. I have to, I'm going to have to do this now. I'm going to have to put a glider on because I know he's going to use it. What was I up to? It fills the entire floor with rising lava and creates a deadly wall around the edges of the zone, which causes immediate death to players in contact with the lava. However, if you manage to find higher ground in the zone with an activated lava floor power, sorry, I haven't got my glasses on, this is why it's struggling, you will start warming up. Now that's kind of cool. So you get a bit of a heat up if you're clever enough. This lava stays for 10 seconds after it reaches the maximum height. I don't know how long it takes to reach that maximum height, after which it will start to fall back into the abyss. Under the snow, I guess. Show directors can only have one lava floor power, damn it, I want 3, on their deck, and it costs 5 action points, just like any major power. To unlock it, we just got to level up. I'm already leveled, so I should have it day 1. It looks fantastic and it's an animation. You guys should check the scavenger website for that. Devil, mate, great to see you. We're just reading out the patch notes, mate. And we've just spoken about the lava floor. Now I'm really excited for that. So this next one is a great one for the players. And speaking of the players, let me get them going. Let's give them some stuff. Get them enticed for a moment. This will be great for new players and players that just want to keen themselves up, particularly when it's quiet, you know, and I have to try and look at that in a positive fashion because we all know it's quiet. And yeah, so the patch notes, Devil, they're actually up on the on Scavenger's website right now, but we're just reading them out. We've just gone through this better responsiveness with axes. There's a new show director power, and you've got some visual cues that let you know if somebody's got axe sharpener maxed out. Let's go back down. So this one here is great for the new players and people that want to train up without any pressure too. It's great for players like me that are garbage, and this is a new way to train. Practice versus AI. Practice versus AI is a new game mode that players can enter to practice their survival skills before joining other inmates in the arena. While Lancaster DoD and the training yard, formerly called the playground, were designed to help new players learn about the basic game mechanics and equipment available. The first set of artificial inmates will help inmates practice combat play styles and tactics to help them be better prepared for the real challenges out in the arena. Now that is great news. One of the big complaints we've heard, and they've obviously listened to it as well, is that new players come in and they get clapped, and what happens? Like, what happens? You know, they just leave. So the patch comes out on the 19th, Devil, and for everybody else that's waiting, you know, we haven't got long to wait, but I believe it's the 19th that comes out. But this is a great concept, this versus AI. So the players can train up, try out things, and if they've got to get good away from players, they've got a chance to do so. Everybody's a bit different. Some people take longer to get onto this game and get good, and it's not always just about playing the best players in the world, is it? You know, we get the best players out there, and sometimes you don't have a chance or opportunity to even try your combat moves out because they clap you so fast, it's over. When that's a repeat experience, people lose the entertainment factor of the game and they leave. It's as simple as that. So I'm very encouraged by that. But to continue the notes, this game mode uses a static map and places a player in a match against 9 artificial inmates, which are designed to gather resources, craft tools, and engage in combat just like a real inmate would. It is currently only available on easy mode, but we do plan to bring more advanced AIs in the future with higher difficulty settings, so even players that are familiar with the game mechanics will find them helpful. Very nice move, Scav. That's just made me have tingles down my spine. you listen to the players in regards to mechanics, and now you're showing that you do listen to us. Now we just need you to do it a little bit with the advertising. Alright, now this one is probably the one that excites me the most, even more than the show director power. Play by your own rules with custom matches. Joining and creating custom matches. About time. Thank you. We've completely revamped. Oh, speaking of which, let me do this. Give him a beach party. We'll get him into it. We've completely revamped the private match feature to allow players to find and join those matches more easily through custom match server list. Yes! Yes! Thank you. Creating your matches also just got better, as you can now customize specific settings to truly make these matches your own. I love that. That's great. So we can actually set it up, and looking at the menu of it, we've got these options. The game mode, we can turn scavenger on if we want. You can have minimap, compass. Oh, it just went away from the screen. Fuck. Anyway, alright. Hold on, sorry. So it's obviously allowing us to tailor so many different paths to it. Solo, duo, scavengers, this and that. So we can set up all these different private matches. And it says here, each custom match generates a 4-letter password which hosts can send to other players that they would like to invite. If the host chooses to make their match visible to everyone, let me just repeat that. If the host chooses to make their match visible to everyone, the match will be shown on the custom match server list where other players can find it and join it just by clicking on it. So you don't need a password. You can have a public, private, custom match, so to speak. That is fantastic for a person like me who is going to run a lot of tournaments, a lot of matches, and I do a lot of private matches. This will allow the community who's on to actually get into it and actually just join it. They can search and go, oh, Karma's on. He's got the custom match going. I'm just going to jump in. That saves me a lot of time. Trying to get all of you into one match sometimes is super challenging. So if I can sit there and have the final going and you guys just join it, how good is that? I'm really happy and proud for that. Thank you, Scavenger, for bringing this excellent option. It says here, to continue. We've prepared some preset matches for you to start with, which you will see when you create a custom match, but you are more than free to set up one of your own by creating My Custom Match. Excellent. We can totally tailor it to our looks and our feels. We're working on bringing more customizable settings in the future, so you can look forward to making these matches even more interesting. And Scavenger, I am. I'm really looking forward to this. Keep this guy's going. Sorry to the guys in my match right now. We're just too pumped up. Join a custom duos match with a friend. Ha ha ha. How good's that? So you guys can get partnered up. You can jump in for these custom matches. How good is that? You simply click. It says here, players can now join duo matches, custom duo matches with another teammate of their choice. Simply invite them in to join your party by clicking on the invite friend button. Then join or create the custom duos match. Only the party leader currently will be able to choose a role, but they must select an inmate role so they can be paired with a friend once the match starts. Alright, now they're all the exciting parts of the patch that I care about personally, but I know that a big part of this game is all about the fashion, so let's have a look and see what it is. 25 plus new cosmetic items. Taking on new challenges such as the lava floor demands new outfits. Over 25 new items will be obtainable from fan gifts and also purchasable with ramen from the shop. And taking a look at them, they're pretty cool. There's some weird ones here. They're not bad. I don't mind those at all. And they're just showing those off. Alright, general improvements. Now this is a really important part, and this is all about the gameplay. So as it says, gameplay. Updated the stamina system. Scav have reduced sprint stamina costs from 18 seconds to 6 seconds. Reduced jump stamina costs from 33 to 25, so we're seeing reductions. That gives you guys a bit more juice. Reduce the roll stamina cost from 40 to 30. An axe attack now costs 10 stamina. Interesting. Aiming with a bow. Now this is quite interesting. Aiming with a bow now costs 6 stamina per second. That's really interesting. Developer comment. Because stamina management outside of combat seemed unnecessary, we put more focus on combat to reward better stamina management. So it's going to make you play smarter. You're going to have to really look at what you're doing. And you're just going to have to get into it. That's great. I've got a message here, so I'm just going to check that quick. Yes, Smurf, I'm sorry. Where is he? Sorry, Smurf, I'm here. I'm sticking around for a couple of hours, but I just had to do a bit of a patch note commentary, so apologies for not being a good director this round. I'm still here though, mate. So you guys get into the bounce. Here we go. Alright. So that's a great change though. They've really concentrated on the stamina management for combat. And I think that adds another degree and element of interest. And it's going to make you have to fight more skilled than just sort of being random. And for new players, they'll quickly learn that they can't just swing and swing and swing or aim a bow forever. They're going to have to adapt and change. That'll make them better players. Onwards with the patch notes. Sorry. Increase the speed of roll attacks. Alright. Reduce the brief stop that would occur after roll attacks. Developer comment. These changes allow the roll attack to match the new timing of the axe swings. On top of that, allowing players to continue moving after a roll attack not only makes the transition between combat movements smoother, but also decreases the chance of getting punished, especially by errors, if the roll attack was missed. So that's good. That sounds very promising. Now this is one that's always been a bit of a myth with people, but they've addressed it here. Resize the female character's height to be the same size as the male's. Developer comment. Although the female character has always had the same hitbox as males, the character height was initially shorter. This often led to confusion regarding hitboxes. So they confirmed it was never a problem before, so to speak, but now they've adjusted the height to actually, make it a reality. This change aims to make the combat more consistent regardless of gender. Great. Now that also leads that maybe there was something there, but we won't go too far into that. Next point. Improve character hitbox to better suit player movements. Great. Sounds good. So they've been optimizing that a bit, and that's fantastic. Speaking of optimization, we'll get through this part really quick. I'm trying to wrap this up as quick as I can, of course, so we can get into the matches. Optimization. What does it say? Server's tick rate has been increased from 32 to 59 updates per second. Comment. This allows for smoother and more accurate interactions between players, more particularly in terms of movement and combat. Yeah, Devil, they did just make the game a bit harder with those things, and I'm really happy for that. I think we need it, don't we? We need it. I mean, before we had hard coming from problems, and I think if we can make it clever and make it harder with skills and all that kind of stuff, if you feel me, it's going to really improve and lift up our game here. And that's what we want. We want players improving all the time. You know, we've seen people plateau recently, and they're about as good as they can get, which is why I always add pressure to the guys, except for this round, of course. Oh, he's about to get into it. And yeah, it's good. Multiple improvements due to engine updates. Now, that's something we didn't know about. So they made some improvements to the game engine. That sounds great. Optimize character model and animations. Optimize visual effects. Optimize day and night cycle. I like that. That sounds good. Optimize level of detail at the Deer Workshop tile. Excellent. Let's hope they also fix the bug where people could get underneath the Ballo factory, because that was just garbage. So I'm hoping that has changed. If it hasn't, I think we're all going to be a little upset. Optimize physics computation of players that are not in sight. And there's a comment on that. We know optimization is highly important for the community, and we've been working hard to strive towards the smoothest possible experience. with this patch, all players should notice an improvement in frame rate, particularly, and this makes me very happy, particularly Xbox players, as we continue through. I will see. Very nice work there, guys. Sorry, I'm just doing my job right over here. I'm going to talk as fast as I can, so I get back to the stream and tell them the rest of the patch notes. Thanks very much. Fuck. Excellent. All right, let's go again. That was the fast version. Yeah, so particularly Xbox players, as we continue down the road towards reaching a stable 60 frames per second. While we still anticipate some small dips here and there, we believe this patch is a step in the right direction for achieving this goal with our Xbox community. Thank you, Scav. Thank you. Keep it up and keep improving it. We want to see that 60 frames. We're all dying to get it. Alright, visuals. So this part's a little bit generic and all the rest, but it's important stuff, so we might as well talk about it today. Toxin's in here. There we go. No, Toxin. So the 19th is when the update occurs. Today is the patch note day. So we've just been going through some of the points. I will cut this video off and restart a new one after it so that I can take this straight over to YouTube as well. On the visuals though, added colour trails to axe wings to indicate the type of melee perk that is being used. Okay, so we'll actually be able to tell what's going on when they swing their axe, what they got. We already know that axe sharpener shows up, so we'll see what else comes up too. These visual effects for the trails will increase as the perk levels up. So it'll probably get stronger or more intense as we get up towards maxing out certain things. So when you've got no perks, you've still got a white trail. Red is for axe sharpener, green is for lumberjack, and yellow is for scavenger axe. Now that's going to be an interesting one to see in action because I think it's going to give some visual cues and add some aggression for some players. You know, if you see someone's running lumberjack, for instance, and you've got axe sharpener, you know, you might get more aggressive with them. And vice versa, they might go, oh shit, that guy's going to go. Hey man, enjoy the rest of your day at work. You can catch the rest of this later if you want, but great for dropping in, Neuro. We're really excited about this. No worries, Devil. We'll see you soon as well, mate. To continue, says added colour trails when players load arrows to indicate the type of arrow that's being used. So the colours are red for a berserker arrow, blue for a basic arrow, green for hunter, and of course fire arrows got orange. Next point. Added a flashing light to indicate when an arrow is ready to be fired. Now that's probably going to be important as well because now we've got that stamina costing going when you hold an arrow down. You know, that might make it strange. Sorry guys in the chat, in the game, we're just reading out some patch notes for the stream. Added a flashing light to indicate when an arrow is ready to be fired. That's right, we just did that. Updated the visual effects for the fire arrow, including the lingering burning damage from the fire. Okay, well that's good. Updated visuals. Updated the visual effects of Blood Moon and Beach Party. Now we know these are two areas. Oh, cool, Devil, mate. We know these are two areas that get some complaints from a couple of the people out there, a lot of the community, where things get a bit freaky when you got Beach Party or Blood Moon going. So hopefully they've added some good visual effects there and helped us out there. And of course they got rid of the Christmas tree lights because it is February. So there we go. Alright, now the user interface has also gotten a bit of an update here. Updated the play menu and the flow to start a match. And that's pretty basic, but yeah, we'll go with that. Added a clearer on-air notification while being followed by the show director. I thought it was pretty clear myself, but hopefully it's not too obvious and it takes away your attention from what's going on in front of you. We'll see how that goes. Updated the bottom left part of the interface while playing a custom match with a disabled minimap setting as an inmate. Okay. Polished in-game notifications text. Okay, so it did look a bit rough, but that's good. And last part, I think, before bug fixes, is other. They renamed, the playground to training yard. Daily rehab program. It's just called daily challenges. I don't know why they did that. That's just taken away from the prison culture a little bit there. But I mean, as a corporation, a company, you know, sometimes we look at rehabilitation, we think of drugs, for instance, or other stuff like that, and perhaps that connotation was sitting there, and they want to move away from that, of course, which I understand that, but I think it takes away from our prison culture just a little bit. But then again, there'll be a lot of people around the world that might not really understand what that is. Reduce the volume of the soundboard. Thank you. Because can you just fix the sounds now on it, Scav? Because they're terrible. I'm sorry to say that, but it just sounds terrible. Alright. Increase the duration of invincibility and speed up to 30 seconds.
If you lose consciousness
And it says in comments, for spectator powers only. Okay. So what they're trying to do there is give the spectator powers a bit of a boost, I suppose. Alright, bug fixes. And this is the last part of it, of course. But let's get into those, because we're all keen and see them. Just give me one moment, gentlemen, ladies.
Don't forget not to die.
Alright, here we go. Bug fixes. And once again, anybody who is watching right now, what I'm going to do is I'll cut the stream once I'm done with this commentary on it. And we'll start a new one up so we can get some gameplay going. We hope. But yeah, look at this. There's only 4. Hey guys, I won't be long. I won't be long. I won't be long.
A portion of the
Yeah, nice.
material will be spliced into
Cool.
the general
Pleasure to meet you, mate.
population.
Let me just read out these last patch notes on the stream and I'll be with you very shortly. Alright, so here we go. Hold on a sec. No, you're good, man. You're good. Give me a minute. Alright, here we go. The bug fixes.
Steps to follow your
Fix an issue that would cause the axe to scale up during the roll attack and could cause hitbox inconsistencies. I've got to turn them down because they're chatting to me now. Fix the crash that would sometimes happen when joining a lobby. Okay, well that's good. I'm not seeing anything about chat yet. This is the one I'm really caring about. Fix an issue in which players could get stuck in burnt tree trunks at the Deer Workshop tile. That's good. You know, people do get stuck there.
a mandatory brain engagement program.
Oh, you can watch it if you want. Just give me a moment. Fix an issue which caused some lava lighting to not work properly in the Deer Workshop tile. Let's have a look. And that's good because some of the lighting did get messed up there. You know, it's kind of just annoys us. Fix an issue where players could get stuck over lava
Please follow
around the middle island of the Deer Workshop tile. That's good. There's a lot of problems in that tile, as we all know. Lag is an issue. Sorry about that noisy car outside. Fucking noisy car. Yeah, but there's a lot of refinement and improvements that need to happen up there. I'm okay with people dying up there. I know that sounds a bit callous. Eventually you'll all learn, but it's the most challenging tile they've created. But lag is a huge issue, so let's hope that fixes it a little bit. And there's a couple of spots of lava that you can just stand in the lava, eh? You just don't die. So, fix an issue where a few bows had incorrect materials. That's not what I knew about, but anyway, thanks for fixing it. Fix an issue where some trees would have an incorrect texture applied to them. Okay. Various snowman hats would have no visible neck when used on a male character, so you're going to have necks, guys. You're going to have snow necks. Sexy. I actually thought it looked better. Like, I like it the way it looks right now. It's just this bloody bald head, bloody snow on the top. It's great. It's very sexy. Here we go. So, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Fix an issue. Equipping ponytail hair would have incorrect eyebrow colours. Hey, it's 2019. Haven't we seen all those girls out there with the blonde hair and the dark? Yeah, whatever. Anyway, fix an issue where some helmets were incorrect. Now, the Gould City tile, which we don't see on Xbox anymore, Scav, would have some tree leaves intersect through the houses. Fix an issue where the Kiwi climber hat... Okay, well... So these are minor things. Fix an issue which could prevent some lava splashes from appearing. Armor crafting sound duration is going to match the actual crafting time. This is a weird one. Fix an issue where trees
A new
would keep
electronic is
moving
available.
if a player died in it. Okay, so if they died underneath it, it'd keep shaking like someone was there. Well, that's a good one to get rid of. Last couple. Fix an issue where the headshot hitbox would remain the same size when when using the electronic shrink power. Now that's quite interesting. I didn't even know that was a thing. They fix an issue where changing graphics quality during beach party when playing as a female character could cause two skins to overlap. And last but not least, fix an issue where joining a Twitch tournament with a controller would sometimes prevent any further menu navigation. That entirety is all the patch notes. So some of those are a bit average. Things I saw missing there. Improvements to the chat, particularly on console. Now, as you guys have often seen, I will jump into a game and I have to jump in as a player, jump out and jump into a new round as director to get my microphone working. It's a pain in the ass. I'll say it straight, it really is. And the fact that half the time the players' mics seem to break. They can be in a pre-game lobby and then get into the game and the microphones are broken. That's annoying. The social aspect of this game is a huge part to it for me. And for a lot of you guys, you know, we enjoy talking to each other, talking a little bit of shit, and, you know, just being good sportsmen in the end, giving it GG. We can't do it if we're all mute, and I think it takes half the life out of Darwin when we can't speak to each other. Now, if we put toxicity aside, which is one of the major issues, a lot of people don't even bother trying to talk in a game. The bugs have been the other major factor in stopping people from actually communicating. So, Scavenger, if you can, work with that chat engine that you're using and please find a way to fix it. It's one of the larger problems in this game, I find. It's one of my two biggest frustrations in this game. The other one, of course, is the population size, which I addressed yesterday in my video called The State of Darwin, which I was very angry and I ranted a bit, but I think my frustration reflects what the player base has been telling me for a long time. Their two big key concerns outside of combat bugs and the axes are chat breaking and, most importantly, the fact that they have to play the same people over and over or we can't get a 10-person match. This needs to be solved. We can't wait for a release for that to happen or you will lose your current community. But aside from that, there's some good improvements there. The axe one is a major one for all of you players. That director power, the lava zone, you can expect me to be using that in very interesting ways and testing it out extensively. So if you don't run gliders, you might want to start thinking about running gliders in Karma's round, because I'm going to take you to the limits and see what I can get out of that for you. Aside from that, yeah, the chat breaking is a huge issue and the advertising push. We need something to be done to bring some playtesters in so we get a small community, particularly with those servers that have no life. And I'm talking about Sydney, Singapore, and I think it's Sao Paulo. These are servers that deserve to have players, and every time a new player tries them out, particularly the Aussies, I've been talking to a few of them recently, they just have to leave. They can't get a match, and they're forced to come over to the American servers. It's not that they don't want to play with the American, Canadian players, but their ping goes up to 400. So what are they supposed to do about that? It's important. I did address all this yesterday, so I won't continue on about that now. But it's given me a little bit of hope today to actually hear or read out some of these things, and I hope some of you as well also get a little bit of confidence. The custom matches that can be open to the public for just anybody to join, that's fantastic. And they're looking after the new players as well by having that practice versus AI. You know, and other players that just want to improve or just can't get a game at the moment. That said, AI matches are no replacement for a real population. And I'm not going to let up on this until we hear some kind of response from them that's not generic, or we'll do it when we want, we're not ready. Guys, you need to be ready, Scav. We need a little bit of advertising. Just a playtest ad. Come and join our playtests. Do it for those servers that are dead. or you'll end up in a catch-22 cycle. And I'm an old bastard, so a catch-22 is kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. By the time you go to make a push on that, people may not be interested. Now, when I read the forums, I see so many garbage comments about this game being shit, or that they need to add guns and garbage. Purists of this game, people who love this game, know that's garbage. We don't need that kind of shit. What we need is some more players. And to keep refining the game as they are, and I can actively say as a commitment from myself, I'm here to stay. I'm not going anywhere. I'm hoping to invest a lot of money into trying to bring people in here and do my own version of marketing and advertising for our unique brand, which is the Final. I really want people to have fun. So I keep trying to invent challenges that are good and unique. And I do it like so many others who stream or direct or play because we love this game and we love it a lot. So please continue to refine the mechanics. Please fix the chat. And also please do a little bit of advertising for us. Get some play testers in for those servers that are dead especially. And help us out. It's a positive day today to see these patch notes. I've been waiting a long time to hear what's coming. And after my rant the other day, this gives me a little bit of hope that they're still headed in the right direction. I've never thought that they're not, as far as mechanics and the gameplay. But I do feel that the population issue must be solved, or at least addressed, and that Scavenger must communicate it with us. Because we're all getting to the point where we're frustrated, having to fight the same people. What do we do about that? And I just farted, and I hope that didn't come through on my microphone, because it's a $500 microphone, and if that got heard, I'll be embarrassed forever. People will be making memes about it. Fuck! Alright, anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of my, my missus is sitting over there, she's just pointing at me. She's about to cover her whole head and put on a gas mask, I can tell right now. That's typical Australian for you. We don't hide nothing from you guys. So we'll make it a meme one day. Hey, maybe Scavenger can use it on the soundboard. Along with Final. This has been Karma Dilemma. We're about to restart this stream in just a moment. Thanks for joining us for the patch notes today. I tried to be a little bit more positive than I was the other day because I was very frustrated. But I'd like to say thank you for coming and listening to the patch notes. Let's see if we can get a couple of rounds going. I can actually do my job in just a moment. I'm going to stop the stream and restart it with a new name. It'll take me about 1 minute, so please stick around. We'll get into some fights. Thanks so much for joining us. This is Karma signing out. Be back in a moment.